Everything old is new again. And you would think that with a title like that on this video, we would be talking about yet another reboot or remake that's coming out of Hollywood sometime soon. And as certain as I am that that's a fait accompli, that's not what I'm here to actually talk about. It's not what I'm addressing. Today, we will enforce or reinforce the idea that while history may not exactly repeat, it certainly does rhyme. And in this case, for Hollywood, and for different reasons, we can certainly hear its rhythmic poetry vibrating through time, resonating simply with one statement: Hollywood is on the verge of collapse. It seems like irony and hyperbole never leave Hollywood. Here we go. So the cinematic stage is no stranger to turmoil, and as the reels of time continue to spin, we find ourselves in another chapter of industry unrest. You see, back in the golden days of 1971, whispers of collapse haunted the movie realm like shadows in a dimly lit theater. Fast forward to today, and well, Hollywood's taken this tale and it's taken another twist. This time, battle lines are drawn, and the Writers Guild of America stands resolute against the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. And as the strike drums pound out in unyielding vigor, they've added to that cacophony an equally troubled Film Actors Guild, and the din of it all is entirely unbearable. And as I'm sure that you know, at least if you've been watching for a while, I'm prone to doing an absolute pile of reading and research every single day, not just in service to the adventures that I have here on YouTube with my various videos and live streams, but for the simple joy of learning new things. I value that. And it was through these endeavors that I came upon an article from 1971. It seems the New York Times thought that Hollywood was on the verge of collapse back then. Strange. You see, in the era of yesteryears, the movie industry was undergoing a transformation, a shape-shifting that made production and exhibition two sides of a very tumultuous coin. Reviews danced across newspapers, revealing a peculiar rise in the number of films in the limelight, 131 of them to be precise, a 40% surge compared to the previous year. The figures painted a picture in defiance against an impending doom, an eccentric attempt to stand tall even as the walls seemed to tremble. The independent spirits surged forward at that time, brandishing their creations, while the majors kept pace, both releasing their cinematic offspring into the wild, all at the same time. It was a paradox, a juxtaposition that defied the looming narrative of collapse. So, as the behemoths and the upstarts shared the stage, the industry was far from that predicted demise. Cut to present, where the script finds a new scene, strikes echoing like crescendos of discontent, and the Writers Guild and the AMPTP protagonists for the purposes of our tale here. Recently, they've attempted a truce, a return to negotiations. Alas, those efforts fell short, thwarted by the inability to agree on the terms of their cinematic détente. The hopes for resolution were dashed as the echoes of their clash reverberated through the industry's corridors. The rhetoric flows as heatedly as ever. In 1971, filmmakers maneuvered through a changing landscape. They were grappling with the emergence of new platforms and sources. That sounds hauntingly familiar now, doesn't it? Today, the struggle takes a different form, as writers and producers are locking horns in a clash of, well, ideologies. The WGA is standing as a united front. It's accusing the studios of employing some old tactics, disinformation, the art of distraction, and they denounce their foes' methods as a stratagem that they claim has failed miserably. For them, it's a narrative of resilience, both then and now, as those who shape stories refuse to be swayed. The Writers Guild, in the present day, stands strong after marching side by side for now 94, or at the time you're seeing this, 95 days. Their strike is a clarion call for a fair deal, a plea to mend the fissures wrought by labor disputes and industry practices that seem to be, well, constantly like engaging in warfare. Now, the studios, much like the majors of old, respond in kind to this challenge. They seek to paint themselves as the heroes of the narrative, a side committed to the livelihoods of countless individuals, and the AMPTP emphasizes their desire to bring people back to work, positioning themselves as the proponents of industry salvation. So, in this theater of negotiations, the drama's unfolding against a backdrop of picket lines and protests. The bustling streets of Hollywood are no stranger to dissent as writers and actors join forces in a dance of conviction. Thousands gather to celebrate newfound sidewalks, a symbol of unity amidst the turmoil. And let's face it, these newly discovered cement gems were quite foreign to all the strike participants since nobody walks in LA. Now, the parallels between the two eras are striking. The industry is ever evolving. It always has been. It's a canvas where battles are waged, where voices rise in unison against perceived injustices, and the tumultuous nature of cinema itself persists. A timeless saga of creative struggles and determination. At least that's what we'd like them to get back to with a zeal, focused on traditional heroes' journeys and wide-spanning adventures. And as the reels of time continue to spin, the tales of yesterday and today remain interwoven in countless ways. A tapestry of dreams and aspirations against the backdrop of a silver screen. The question being, will this be the time that the projector stops and Hollywood as we know it goes dark forever? It is at this point that I stop waxing poetic and prompt you for your thoughts here. Are we at the point where the impasse in Hollywood results in a complete realignment or replacement of the industry as we know it? Will this be resolved in a way where long-lasting harmony can finally be enjoyed? Please give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know it's a little bit more serious video this time with a more whimsical tone, but I would truly appreciate those thoughts. Of course, share the video if you found it enjoyable. I would really appreciate that as we're continuing to grow. And of course, hit the like button and double check that you're subscribed. And until next time, see ya.